All right, guys. So let's do this. I think we're set. Aside from double checking captains, maybe looking at some of the new boys and seeing what we got from there. So Kolsnik's now a leader. Deming is a leader on the team as well. Obviously, unfortunately, you can't go full Roberto Luongo and having a captain of that nature. But we have a free letter to hand out. I think it should be Bykov as another leader on the team alongside Deming. So let's go with Bykov. Let's do it. Nothing like watching Tugi break an already broken game. Andrade got his release. Did he really? Is that official? I heard him say something on Twitter earlier. Like, hey, I'm happy. I hope he got his release from that company, dude. Again, we've talked about WWE a little bit because, again, of course, they had a pay-per-view tonight. I'll say this, again, the reason why I don't really watch that company anymore, well, again, there's a couple of reasons, and I've talked about this. One, they've just done way too many scummy things, and I can't watch that product without feeling scummy, and it's at that point, you're just gonna be like, I'm out, I'm sorry. But in terms of like, hey, why did I start losing interest to begin with? And again, for anybody who doesn't give a shit about wrestling, give me 20 seconds here. The amount of people that they wasted calling up from NXT to the main roster, I just got sick of it. I'm like, I can't get invested in these people anymore. How do you fuck up Andrade? How do you fuck up Aleister Black? How do you fuck up this person? The fucking Authors of Pain is a tag team. Like, just, I know he kept getting hurt. Someone on the team kept getting hurt. It's just bad. It's just bad. And indeed, it's on WWE.com. Andrade got released. Awesome. So yeah, no, fuck that company. The AHL, it's nice that look is up there. I mean, I do love that look too. I do. They were pretty awesome right now. Fair enough. That said, really quickly, AHL captains. Leaders on the team, Peros, Vorobiev, and Laxtonen's presence in the locker room. And I know someone wanted me to take a look at his offensive stats, and I will. And hopefully he has a really good season. So we'll take that off of Triff. We'll take that off of Knights. And Darling as well. So I guess it was what? Vorobiev, Laxtonen, was it Korolev? I forgot. I was reading chat. Andrade to AEW. I agree with Smoot. He'll probably go to ROH or like New Japan first. Was it Korolev? I forgot who the third man was. God damn it. Peros, thank you. Normally I don't have two defensemen with letters, so. Alright, aside from that, we are good. Really quickly, hold on. Let me check out Laxton because someone was saying take a look at him. Do I not have him in the lineup? That's right, I had to scratch him. So one of our captains isn't even playing. That passing with that shot accuracy. What the fuck is this player card? Holy shit. Well, hopefully he develops even though he's not playing. That man has hands. Datsuk-like hands on Laxton, but again, we're having to prioritize other people ahead of him. What is that card? So aside from that, I think we are good. Let's take a look at the ratings heading into the season as Landeskog accepted our offer of being a coach. We'll also get a look at the new boys on the team as well, as we always do. That's been a fun little aspect of this. Alright, so we start off our season at the NHL level against Carolina. The ratings this season, again, for whoever hasn't seen the hottest jerseys ever made in EA NHL. For whoever hasn't. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. God, I love how these jerseys came out. 75, 67, and an 82. 75 offense. Now, Carolina's at 90, 85, 83. But you can see the goaltending's on par. The offense, it's getting there a little bit. But the defense and goaltending hasn't been our issue over the past two seasons. It's been the lack of scoring, so maybe, just maybe, we can make this happen. Of course, the AHL team will be a little bit better, too. So for this team, if I'm not mistaken, the defense is exactly the same. And unfortunately, none of these guys are getting better, which hurts. And forward-wise, I mean, again, the fact that we got 2 80 overall players is fucking fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, Justin Johnson is new to the team. Oh, baby. Purple laces. And that... What is with all of these undrafted players having fucking power stashes? Justin Johnson fits right in. Right in with this team. Still a better defense than Buffalo. Abraham Armstrong, I don't remember if we looked at last year. Old Honest Abe. Look at old Abe. Every team needs an Abe. And we got ours. Abe Armstrong. I think Junior Fernandez is new too. He was in the AHL last year. Junior Fernandez. Oh, look at the hair. Look at the hair, Junior. Look at the hair. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. I think Lawrence Huey is also new as well. Lawrence Huey. Maybe. I mean, great hair again. Maybe it was someone else with the Solani-like visor from last year. Are we sure this isn't Goon Squad? It's pretty close. And everybody else, of course, was here last year, including my captain, Marco Rinos. So let's do this. It's another season. I can't say I have tremendous expectations. We do pick up a point against Carolina. And really quickly as well, the Tulsa Tuskers. Go Tuskers. With the best alternate jersey in the game. 43, 45, and a 74. Uh-huh. Holy hell. That's... Whew. At least the goaltending's on point, right? Rinos had 4 points in the first game of the season, by the way. 4 points against Carolina. Let's sim to December 1st, as we always do, and see how this team does. I'm going to have incredibly low expectations this season, because I feel like this is the year where I'm like, yeah, we've been doing well recently, so now's the, now's the time where, this team will actually end up sucking again. No. Thankfully, thankfully, again, I'm not going to fall for this game's tricks. I'm feeling pretty good. 4 points and you lost the Austin Matthews experience. Yep, pretty much. So, as of December 1st, have I undersold this enough for you like I'm not paying attention? We are 14-4-4. What the fuck? Not even the top team in the division. Oh, I love it when a meme comes together. I love it. God damn. Can we build meme teams around these parts? Beautiful. Oh man, give me 1 second here. God damn. All right. Intangibles are off the charts, right? So you have Louis Reza, only 12 points, in 22 games. Gustav Spykov with 17 in the 22, and Marco Rinos with a lovely 23 points in 22 games. You have Miles Brashear doing quite well with 16 points. Dorian the Great Giftopoulos with a lovely 24 points in 22 games. Lawrence Huey also hanging in there on the top line, 19 points. Third line, Walter Denny with 13 points on the year. Isaiah Marchant with 8. 17 points for Anthony Jeffrey. He also joins the 80 overall club. Our third player to do so. Fourth line, look at Justin Johnson. Holy hell. 8 goals, 9 assists so far. 7 points for Abe, and 8 points for Junior Fernandez. The defense, Monador with 20 points in 22 games. Eat your heart out, Quinn Hughes. We have Jesse Monador. Emiliano Stafford with the 5 points. Okay, Morrissey and Domingue are a bit of a problem, but Hagman and Fost have both been pretty good. We'll swap Morrissey and Domingue to try and just keep that momentum going. Goaltending-wise, Kolsnik with a 9.25. Ulf Ackerstrom with a 9.21. Delightful. Enjoy this now, chat. Enjoy this now because it's about to go downhill. It's about to go downhill. Like, we're gonna fall off a cliff. This PDO bender has to end, even with 84% locker room chemistry. This is only gonna last for so long. I am gonna bet that we miss the playoffs. If history in this game is anything to go off of, we miss out on the playoffs this year. I refuse to buy into the hype right now. There's no way. Not a chance in hell that this team makes the playoffs, so we will march on. We will move forward, but again, expect the losses to add up for sure. 28-7 as of January 1st. So indeed, some more losses in the mix. Still in a playoff spot. Jesse Monador as a defenseman is leading this team in points. 85% locker room chemistry, but 3 wins in our last 10. Let's go to February. Not going to change anything about the team. We are what we are. We are who they thought they were. We are who they think we are. So, this will be interesting. Let's see what we can do here moving forward, right? 29-11-8 as of February 1st. This is by far going to be our most successful season. We are in second in this Atlantic Division. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not doing it. There's no way. There is no way. Kolsnik has a 926. Ackerstrom has a 921. This team is doping. We would never cut holes in walls and pass stuff through the walls. This is St. Petersburg, Florida? Instead of Russia, maybe? Who knows? Louis Reza closing in on 30 points. Bykov on 38. Rinos doing quite well. The second line's gelling, man. Look at Giftopoulos and Bashir. That third line's doing very well, including Jeffrey. Huh. Defensively, Monador is Monador leading the NHL in points by a defenseman? Hold on. Is Monador leading the NHL in points by defenseman? Bruh. He is ahead of Adam Boqvist, Thomas Chabot, Quinn Hughes, Alex Romanoff, Ivan Provorov. One of these things is not like the other. Holy shit. I wish this game was like MLB. And, yeah. I wish this game was like MLB and told you who was winning in terms of like, hey, here's who the favorite is for that award right now. I wish that was a thing. Unfortunately, it's not. But this is ridiculous. We have been upgraded to conditional buyer. Or at least conservative buyer, I suppose. What the hell? To the moon! Let's keep going. To March 1st. I'm just waiting for the plummet to happen. I'm waiting. We're gonna fall. That cliff is coming. That cliff is clearly dead ahead. And we're about to full speed ahead fall off of that like a Toronto Maple Leafs team 5 years ago. And indeed, we lost a few more games then. 32-19-10. We are in a playoff spot alongside Toronto as a wild card team. We have 1 win in our last 10 games. We found the cliff, ladies and gentlemen. We found the cliff. Monster, what's going on? You know, maybe a playoff push. Right now, it might happen. It might. Whiskey breaking out the old Happy Gilmore quotes, by the way. Very much approved. Let's see how we do by the halfway point. I'm listing ourselves as buyers. Let's go, boys. Believe in the hype. Believe in the hype, even though that PDO bender is dying out. Valimaki for 2 firsts and a prospect. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the losses are adding up here. Holy hell. 34, 23, and 12. We are currently out of the playoffs. Oh, shit. We're very much in the hunt. We knew it was coming. I'm really trying not to be disappointed because we knew it was coming. The goaltending, I mean, each goalie with a 921 right now, for God's sakes. I'm trying really hard to not be disappointed. And unfortunately, the plus minus for everyone has just fallen. It's just fallen off. Like, my God. Let's try the old swap the winger trick. We'll swap to the sides that the defensemen happen to be on, and we'll see what happens. We have no business making the playoffs, so, you know, we'll see what happens. We played Detroit. We lose, but we get a pity point. Ottawa. We win. The Deej Bowl, it's against Florida. We lose 3-0. We are currently outside of the playoffs via tiebreaker. San Jose. We lose, but again, another pity point. New Jersey. We lose 5-1. The Islanders. We win 6-3. What the hell is this team? The Anaheim Ducks. We lose 6-2. We're currently 3 points out of a playoff spot with a game at hand. I don't think we're going to make it. It's going to take a miracle at this point. The LA Kings, we win. The Calgary Flames, we lose. We're just too inconsistent. Philadelphia, we win. Somehow, oh my God, look at this division. Holy shit, we're in last. Look at this goddamn division. If this division wasn't on drugs, we'd be in the playoffs. We'd be tied for first in the Metro. We'd be in fourth in the Central. And we'd be tied for third in the Pacific. Any other division, we're in a much better spot. This is unreal. What the hell? Vegas. We lose. That's probably it. That's probably it, guys. We're 3 points back of the Leafs. I think we're just going to miss out. We lose to Boston. That's it. Our best season to date. We almost did it. We almost pulled it off. If this Atlantic Division wasn't on drugs, we would have made it. But unfortunately, as we predicted... this team fell off. So that's great. I said I didn't want to get my hopes up, but I am very disappointed right now. Very disappointed. Well, we end the season with a nice loss to Buffalo. Damn. So close yet so far. The Degen somehow finish in last in this division because everybody had at least 90 points. That is unbelievable. Around the league, the Carolina Hurricanes were the top team, the worst. Philadelphia by far. We were nowhere near the bottom, though. We finished in 20th. 90 points for the first time. But, like, look at this. Montreal and Toronto were 12th and 13th. And Edmonton and 18th made the playoffs. In terms of goals for, our offense is no longer the worst in the league. It's mid-table. So our offense got better. Our defense and goaltending was also mid-table. So it's like we were an okay team. Our power play percentage was mid-table. And our penalty kill percentage was somewhere in the middle. We were just a bang average team. And unfortunately, in the Atlantic Division this year, average doesn't get you into the playoffs. Marco Rinos put up 62 points, which I believe is a career high. No, it's not. He actually put up 64 last year. I mean, he's not quite Joe Byer in terms of guaranteed goals, but he does have now 4 straight seasons of at least 20 goals. At least 25 now in terms of the last 3. Giftopoulos with 59 points. Yui with 56. He was a rookie this year, wasn't he? Yeah. Lawrence Yui might have won the Calder. Got Bykov over 50. This team found a way to score some goals this year. Lowest point getter was 15 on the fourth line, Abe Armstrong. So that's not that bad. Defensively, call it a hunch. I don't think Monador won the Norris. That pace fell off just a little bit.
Oh,
the general
good
towards the back
for you.
stretch. That's a hell of a name. Thank you for the follow. In terms of this team in general, I mean, obviously, the back stretch, we just couldn't keep the puck out of the net either. Kolesnik finished with a 9.21. Ackerstrom with a 9.14. Turned down for butts. I think that's a message we can all get behind, right? You see, because ass. Around the league, what do we have? Holy shit, Ottawa. All right, Salcido, Barzal, Svechnikov, Aho. Goal-scoring king Salcido with 66, for God's sakes. Yeah, that shooting category makes sense, doesn't it? Hot damn. Get Bonks up there, Line, who's still in Columbus. Blue Jackets fans wish that would happen, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, pretty much nothing else there. I mean, a lot of 50 point getters. Is this the first season at MSPK? This was our second season tonight. As Monador was still one of numerous defensemen to put up 60 points, but ultimately I think it's going to be Thomas Chabot or probably Romanov because of that absurd plus-minus who would win the Norris. Robin Furchner, what a name, led in terms of goals. For the goaltenders, of course, we had last year's Vezina winner. I don't think he'll win it again this year in Kolesnik. Korpisalo with 8 shutouts. Save percentage king among starters was Big Save Dave. You had Demko up there, Katahat, who's now in San Jose. So, yeah, no back-to-back Vezina trophies, unfortunately for Kolesnik, but he did quite well. And for the rookies, unfortunately for Yui, there was a bastard in San Jose named Yves Delorme. 5th overall pick to the Shacks. So, the runner-up for the Calder, at least, in Lawrence Yui. Not that bad. We had a much better... I mean, this is our best year yet. And I think at this stage, like if anyone was doubting, can you actually make the playoffs at this stage? If anyone was doubting, oh, can you make the playoffs in this particular challenge? Yeah, I think this team has shown we can make the playoffs. Will we? I have no idea. Will we win a cup? I have no idea. I mean, again, in Madden, I was able to win a Super Bowl. I want to win a Stanley Cup in this challenge. Time will tell, though, if that's possible. I don't know for sure. I do not know. But I'm feeling pretty good about our chances. I'm more optimistic now than I ever was. I mean, again, if we weren't in that great of a division, we would have made the playoffs. For sure. Chicago wins the Stanley Cup because they haven't won it enough. As they were able to defeat the Florida Panthers in 5. Poor Florida. The Quinville Bowl. What does Chicago look like? I mean, at this stage, we're getting to the point where a lot of real-life players have retired, so I really don't like looking at the rosters too much. But Ratu, Morgan Frost, Pat Bonks, Kirby Doc. Yeah, I mean, it's an entirely different team at this stage. I mean, Bogequist is there. They added Shea Theodore. Goalie-wise, Vianney Vevalainen. So, yeah, Leafs fans, get hype. In terms of the awards, that's what? Yeah, 3 straight Western Conference Cup winners. Salcido won the Art Ross. Svechnikov wins the Hart. The Norris went to Romanov, had a feeling. Lady Bing the Tavo. Delorme won the Calder. Vevalainen wins the Conn Smythe. A big save Dave, the Vezina. Hellebuck the Jennings. Masterton to a dude named Clancy. That's hilarious. Jack Adams to the Sens coach. Lundell wins another Selke. Svechnikov to Ted Lindsay. And Salcido to Rocket Richard. In the AHL, Denick Martel was league MVP. And that is about it for familiar names outside of Stuart Skinner, who was MVP of the playoffs. So the 2029-2030 season comes to an end. We are already that far into this, which is stupid. In terms of development, our main man, Walter Denny, up to an 80, some good natural growth. Of course, quite a bit of statistical growth. We pay attention to the natural growth, though, with Denny. You also have Fernandez up to a 76. A lot of statistical growth here, though. Peros up to a 72, but he's 25. It's probably too little too late for him. In the AHL, Flaherty's looking great. Salcido's looking great for these goaltenders, but they're both 24. Darling looking better. Duclair. Where are these other low elites? Welch is up to a 65. I don't know if he's ever going to make it. Tukio, Vetterl. Okay. I mean, hey, it's more good development. I think we can do this. I think we can. I think we can. As Pittsburgh gets the #1 overall pick. Mayday, how are you? I hope you are well. That's right, I have that clip on standby. In terms of retired players, John Tavares in Vancouver, Jonathan Huberdeau, Ricard Raquel, Sean Couturier, and others. Yeah, I'd love to be able to see the list of player accomplishments. Show me a trophy case. I want to know how much success John Tavares had. Thank you. For defensemen, Torrey Krug, Justin Falk, Ryan Ellis, Nate Schmidt. That's right, I gave you that idea for free. And in terms of the goalies, Carey Price. 42 years old. Can't retire when you're getting overpaid to that extent. Gotta ride out that contract. Elvis retired at 36, huh? Hey, I'm doing great, dude. No complaints. No complaints. I like the logic of Jack. Jack worked in this game, done many franchise, most of them 10 prison. Oh, MSBK, we never won a single Jack Adams award with the Goon Squad, despite like 6 President's trophies. Not a single Jack Adams winner. So, yeah, it's, I don't know what the hell the logic is with that. I don't know what the hell the logic is with that, I'll give you that. Alright, our picks this year are going to the Minnesota Wild. Now the worst team in the league, or at least they have that first pick of the second round, which is kind of how I ultimately decide, because again, we don't make any draft picks in this challenge. So our 14th and 45th, all of our other picks are gone. They will go to Minnesota to try and get them back on track. And to look at the first round, franchise player to Pittsburgh, what a surprise! Were they threatening to move again? Matsumoto, Kapitanov, Vitanen, Van de Velde, Hancock. It's a pretty good top group there. Clark to Minnesota as well. They also get Forbes with our pick, so interesting. Interesting. I hopefully will see a couple of good players still somehow. I mean, that's the problem, right? That you see a draft like that. It's like, oh, cool, so maybe there's good players that won't make it. But the problem is, like, well, even if they're 18 and they don't get signed, there's still a couple of years where they could be picked. So, like, the AI teams have to consistently screw up year in and year out to, you know, end up having these players even fall to us at that stage. So, Sidney Crosby, Penguins on 2030. Is he still living in Mario's basement? Alright. Not taking shots at him for doing that. I mean, can you imagine how sick that was? Goalie-wise, again, we'll do what we do. We will qualify our RFAs. We'll bring on our UFAs for the moment as well. Ackerstrom doesn't want that much. Radioevich probably won't hold on to him long-term anymore. For defensemen, I mean, obviously, Monador showing up as a 78 now. We'll give him money. We'll give Domingue money. Foss and Morrissey can get paid. We'll qualify Peros, qualify Darling. Oops. I don't really have too much I have to worry about with the re-sign phase. It's, again, just hold on to everybody, and then once we find out we actually have better dudes available, then we go out and trade these guys who clearly aren't going to make it, and bring in the better dudes. So it makes the offseason very, very quick. Like, that's the reason why we've been able to sim almost 10 years already. Like, the re-sign phase is incredibly simple. There's really not much thought that has to be put into it. The draft isn't a thing. So, I mean, in terms of, like, a speed run type of challenge, this is it. Obviously, if you start mixing in the playoffs, it takes a little bit longer, but we don't know if we're going to do that. Go ahead and qualify Ranger. Alright, and we should be good. I know I can advance Dave from the other side. Alex Bork is going to leave, which sucks. He's a great goalie coach. That is unfortunate. Whoa, whoa, whoa. With the raid. I always forget that you stream. Thank you for that, buddy. How'd it go? What were you playing tonight? Drop that shout out if you haven't followed a long-time supporter of this channel. Make sure to drop him a follow. Do it. I wasn't even following. Closing in on 100. It's at 88 right now. 88. Is there a reason why we can't get this to 100? Look at this. I want to see that at 100, goddammit. I don't even know how many people we got in here. I don't care. Get that to 100. Or I'm stopping the stream and I'm never coming back. Ever. Some people are going to be like, yes, he's leaving. Oh, thank God. I fucking hate that guy. I love you too. All right. Really quickly.
Oh, good for you.
Really quickly. I'm gonna guess it's Dratch, but I'm not sure. Thank you for the follow.
Oh, good for you.
And Danny as well. Appreciate that. Has there ever been an undrafted free agent with franchise potential? Not that I've seen. Has it happened to somebody? Probably, but I doubt it. I mean, maybe in some of like the older games, like something like NHL 18, I could see that have happened in, because NHL 18 was nuts. Pretty sure that was Freddie McDonough, right? What an asshole that streamer guy is, right? I know. I said that Elon Musk actually isn't that smart. So, I mean, I'm just a streamer, though. Dude, you're being ridiculous. The guy, he's one of the richest dumbasses on this planet. He is. He's one of the smartest dumbasses as well. I'll leave it at that. For someone that smart, he sure knows how to minimize his intelligence if it's even there. I'll just leave it at that. It's fine. Anyway, what do we got here? I really don't want to get into that conversation again. I don't fucking care. All right, we're good. Kind of wish it'd be franchises later on in the draft. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, right? There should be a few more. I mean, I don't know. Like, the lowest I've ever seen a franchise player drafted was like the second round, probably. And I feel like that was a few years ago. All right, we're good. Would love to see a Czechoslovakian nation. Again, I'll never do that. At least I won't label it Czechoslovakia. I mean, again, there's a reason. Like, it's the same reason as to why I'll never do like, the Soviet Union's back. Like, no, that's insensitive to a lot of people, you know? So, yeah, no, I'll never label it like, hey, Czechoslovakia, or anything like that. So, but I get your point. Oh, baby. Free agency we go. Let's do this. Come on, EA. Big money. Big money players. Let's go. Build my franchise for me right now. We'll start with the goalies. All right, well, that's awful. There is nobody there. We do have a 65 overall medium fringe in Don Mowers, who's not available. Kolyakovo is. He's a 57. Uh, 63 Milson. All right, Brian Milson is a 63, but the other dude was a 65, right? Yeah, so he wasn't available, though. So we have a 63 medium fringe that we could sign right now in Milson. And that is about it. Yikes. Big yikes. Okay. So is it worth getting rid of a goalie? Is it worth getting rid of a goalie to sign that dude? Honestly, the answer is yes. We don't need Radiojevic. He's worse than Shing. Just about 4 years older. Radiojevic, you have to go. Unfortunately. Allsvenskan draft glory would be fun. It would, but there's never any prospects that develop out of there. So unfortunately, to Marian Radiojevic, you have to go. I had high hopes for you. And it's just not there. So you have to go, sir. Anaheim needs goaltending. So hopefully they'll just take you. Fuck you, game. Have some 7ths. Congratulations. Alright, so Radujevich is gone. Kind of sucks, but he just wasn't going to develop. We're going to piss off some players, but that's fine. So let's find our man, Milson. Brian Milson. Sign him up. For the defense. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Please, God, yes. Another low elite defenseman, please. Jesus, are you there, Jesus? Help me. We're doing it. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. I need your help. I need your help. Come on. A 52 overall, but at 19 years old, we get another low elite defenseman who has perhaps the best odds of developing. It's Jalen Wisniewski.
Fanboy. The man was a fanboy.
Hello, Jalen Wisniewski, and hello, Hawk, dropping the 14 months. Fox dropping the 100 bits. Did I go wrong? Where in your life did you go wrong? Fox, you didn't go wrong anywhere. You know why? Because you're here, you support the content, you're a beautiful person. I love you. Not in that way. Maybe in that way? Not in that way. Anyway, we march on. We have other low 4s. Phil Hopkins. Phil! We get Phil. Do I still have the Phil clip? No! Did I get rid of the Phil? When did I get rid of the Phil? I don't want to get rid of the... Hold on. This stream is on hold. This stream is on hold. Where the fuck is my recycle bin on my desktop? It's not where it's supposed to be. Recycle bin. Find the bin. We must find the bin. Where is this? I accidentally deleted certain stream clip options. Oh God. Where are you? No! Is Phil gone forever? I might have gotten completely rid of Phil. It might have just completely deleted it. Well, it was a good run, chat, but Phil is gone. Phil, you don't make me angry, Phil. You don't. Well, Phil's gone. Phil's bad, man. Let's go after Phil Hopkins here. 6'5" beauty of a defenseman. There's also a 19-year-old here in Christian Lindgren. Yes, look at our luck right now. Look at the luck that is on display. This is what I was hoping for. Wisniewski, Hopkins, Lindgren. What about Mikola? He's a 73. Please, Jesus, please. I guarantee he was drafted. The entire state of New Jersey. I don't even have a threat big enough. I love how the Devils are like, fuck this guy. And I'm just like, please, God, yes, he's perfect. It doesn't work, though. Anybody else on a low 4? No. And then again, medium 6s, there's never anybody. But we'll do our due diligence. Devs, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't make the rules, but the entire state of New Jersey, I just think we have to, you know, separate them from the rest of the continental U.S. and just push you out to sea. I think that's what it has to be. So for defense, though, we add Wisniewski, Hopkins, and Lindgren, which is pretty nice. Any big money changers, game changers on forward. Again, we have only gotten one low elite forward so far. And to be honest, he's barely developed. Fuck you. Alright, well, we still didn't get anybody. Medium top 6 is incredibly rare and it doesn't happen. What about for low 6? Oh, God. Okay, Salmelainen. Mika Salmelainen. Alright, we get a Finn in Mika Salmelainen. The Ducks are in for him, and they can eat pant. We also get Matthias Ackerlund. No. Calgary drafted him. Anybody else? Oof. One forward. Jesus, we're on 5 players. We're on 5 players right now. That's it. Yikes. The low 9s I don't even know if I want to go for the low 9s at this rate. I mean, again, they can develop decently. I hate Montreal with the... I mean, I already did. But just... Screw you and your goddamn unpaved roads. Jesus Christ. Fucking, oh, we got potholes. Yeah, you do, don't you? Oscar Bjorkstrand was already drafted. Kolars is available. I don't know if we can really afford to go for other low 9s at this rate. We have so many low top 6s, I think that's the bare minimum. So in terms of the contracts, we're on 45. We have 3 defensemen coming into the team, so let's see what we have here. 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. I hate to say it, but I think, oh man, Darling's like right on the fringe. I think Foss might have to go, or maybe Morrissey. It's such a tough call. You know, it's like, do you trust that some of these dudes will actually still develop? But we have to, right? We have to aim for higher than a 73. I mean, Peros can pretty much immediately take Morrissey's spot. It's not like Morrissey does anything particularly well. He's not great offensively. He's not great defensively. He's got a pretty good physical category. He's not a great skater. Yeah, Steve Morrissey's got to go, unfortunately. And then for the forwards, is there anybody who's an obvious cut? I mean, Ranger's only a 65 at 23. We have Welch right behind him. And then there are these other dudes that are younger and right... Yeah, I think Welch has to go. And then again, there's some other low 9s, but I just don't know if I want to prioritize them. And in terms of this, again, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So anybody like under a 74 right now doesn't cut it. Olchek we're going to hold on to because he's an enforcer. Vorobyev's got to go. He's not particularly great at anything, so I hate to see that. I mean, Vorobyev has almost 500 games played as a member of the team, but he's out. He's out. Duclair can stay for sure. Korolev has to go too. He's just not going to develop. 656 games as a member of this team. He's got to go, though. So we at least have 3 guys that are very obvious. Actually, 4 guys, too. Ranger. That we can move on from here. And again, I'll just try to send them to Anaheim for the sake of simplicity. Done deal. All right, so we make some hard cuts there, unfortunately. Before we sim anything else, I do need to check the coaching market here. I need this guy, and I need to try to bring Bork back. So first and foremost, Alex Bork, hopefully you've realized the error of your ways and will sign to stay here. Because you should. Like, you absolutely should. There is no reason for you to leave. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. 2.5 was the max. I wasn't expecting that. We have 2 A- there as well, who actually don't even really fit in. I mean, Landeskog could be cut, but I don't really have to do it right now. Whoops. All right, let's go back. That A+ defensive coach in Kraus. Gavin Kraus. All right, chat. Quick Q&A, also known as the Tugan-A around these parts, because this is going to take 6.5 years to scroll through. Now is your chance. Entertain me. Help me entertain you. Please. God. Because this is so boring when you have to do this. And I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Oh, God. Is Connor Garland one of the most underrated players? Connor Garland's gotten to the point that Louis Eriksson was at not that long ago, where everyone's like, yeah, Louis Eriksson's overrated. And everyone's like, yeah, he's underrated, which means he's not underrated because everyone knows that Connor Garland's actually pretty sick. I guess the argument against Connor Garland is like, okay, well, it's Arizona, and does someone have to score? But, like, legitimately, Connor Garland's sick. Like, he just kind of fell into their lap as a player the Coyotes can build around. Deshaun Watson thoughts. Man, it depends on how you want to view the situation. You look at the allegations, and it's like, oh, that's awful. And then you look on the flip side, and it's just like, well, what the hell's happening here because of that lawyer specifically? Jury's out right now. I mean, again, obviously for Deshaun Watson's sake, I kind of hope, like, hey, maybe hopefully this guy didn't fuck up his life and his career. If he did, then fuck him for what he did. But we don't know yet. So, is Toronto the best team in the NHL? No. Tampa. Washington went 7-0 without Tom Wilson and lost his first game back. I know it's stupid, isn't it? Thoughts on Doughty? He's good. Drew Doughty's proven a lot of people wrong this year. A lot of people wrong this year in terms of how well he's done. Myself included. Jesper Bratt, the most underrated player in the league. I don't know his stats, actually, offhand. If I consider doing 2 podcasts a week, I mean, it's something we've debated. I don't know if we'll do that anytime soon, as Bork is back. Yeah, the whole 2 podcast idea is something we're certainly discussing. And again, Deej and I are hoping to get the podcast up in video form on the YouTube side of things. So, yep, I did just completely miss my mouth and fucking spill Palmer on these shorts. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I think 2 podcasts a week is something that could happen. I mean, again, I don't want to base the entire podcast off of like what we've seen with like Steve Dangle and everything, but he and Adam and Jesse have one hell of a formula down pat. Shorts in the winter, dude. It was 60 degrees here today. 60. Is Doughty deserving of that 91 you gave him? No. No, I wouldn't say Drew Doughty's still worth a 90. Like, he's okay. He's putting up points, but yeah, no. I would not call him a 90. All right, so Alex Bork is back as a coach. Yes, an A-plus defensive coach in Gavin Krause. He signed. Salamainen signs. Milson, Hopkins, Lindgren, Wisniewski. We're golden. We're golden. We got everybody that we wanted. #1 Slovenian hockey podcast. Damn right. Is the loss of Lee going to be the downfall for the Islanders? I would side to yes, just because, again, there is now such a lack of... Like, they have to do something. And instead of like, oh, cool, we have Anders Lee, and let's do something. Now they have to try to find a way to replace Anders Lee, which you're just not going to be able to do. Like, Anders Lee is still a pretty goddamn sick player, so... I feel sorry for Islanders fans, but if there's a coach that can still get the most out of that team, it is, of course, Barry Trotz, who is still my pick for the best coach in the NHL. And honestly, I don't know if it's all that close with anybody else. All right, so Kolar's is a 60 sniper. Lidstrom on his first Norris, age 30, Doughty's 31. Fair. Philly might have the worst analytical defense in the NHL. Philly's a goddamn disaster this year, and it's sad. Because genuinely, they have no excuse to not make it to a cup. Like, again, Philly, I said Philly could make the final this year, and I genuinely believed it. They gotta change something. Alright, Zach Hewson, hello. Being a 62 grinder. Interesting. What about LeClaire? He's not available. I think we're probably going to send an offer out for Houston here. Joey Stokes is a great name, but we can't get him. Robin Morrison we can't go after. Flipper. All right, Flipper's available as a playmaker. Flipper, 61 playmaker. Well, Downey's too low of an overall. What about Hrivik? Not available. 58 from Makula is a bit too low. 52 Sniper and Lapalainen's a bit too low. If there's a dude with a low 9 that has a good starting overall, I'm still interested. 55 for Funk. 63 for Bremanis. Drafted by Anaheim. 65 for Lefebvre. Damn it! Oh, that would have been so good. Really, you can call this series one man's trash as another man's treasure. Jorgen Ahonen. He's a difference maker because he's 19, so he has that extra year worth of development. Where's Palmieri getting traded to? Hopefully Boston. I'll take Kyle Palmieri and Matthias Ekholm. Thank you. That'd be great. So New Jersey and Nashville. Let's make something happen. 59 for Foss. There's so many low nines. Jesus. Nick Griffith also available as a younger dude. We'll have that extra chance to develop. There's so many low nines. Jesus. Alright, there we go. So I think I have my targets. I think I have my top targets here. Let's go off of age. So I'm looking at the potentials here mostly then. So we have Griffith. Try to sign him to an ELC. We have Ahonen. Try to sign him to an ELC. Let's get to the 20-year-old options here. Shouldn't take that long. We're looking for Hughes and Filppula. Hughes and Filppula. Again, Ackerland wasn't available. I fucking wish. Looking at low nines, Hughes and Filppula. Of course, they're going to be right at the bottom. Holy shit. Or was it Hughes? No, it wasn't Hughes, it was Houston. There we go. And Flipper. Where was Filppula? Alright, cool. Those are the targets. I might need to clear one more spot off of the roster just to make sure I can get all these guys. But aside from that, again, this team I think is genuinely looking good. I hate to say it for Callahan. I know he's an enforcer, but I don't know if I trust that he's actually going to develop. I do still like Olczyk for the idea of having a goon available if it's best for chemistry. And then Callahan next to him as a fellow goon would be pretty damn cool for the defense. I mean, Matt Tkachuk could certainly be a shout. I don't quite know what I want to do here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm allowed up to 50 deals here. It's kind of the game plan. Ahonen signs, Griffith, Filppula, Houston, perfect. Alright, so we are good. Only thing now that we have to do here is sit into the beginning of next season and we can see what this team's going to look like heading into this next year. Can we make the playoffs is going to be the question. Because we might be able to. As stupid as that is. I just finally dropped Darlene in fantasy. I can't believe some people held on to Buffalo players for as long as they did. Because again, there has been points made recently of, oh, bad team, somebody has to put up points. But yeah, no, Buffalo's proven that wrong. Alright, so the contracts we go. The RFAs we go. And congratulations to these three getting to be my cap whales for the year. And that way, of course, we don't have to go out and sign any free agents. We should be good to go. Johnson signs. Denny, I didn't drop the number back far enough. God, I hate that glitch. Can't believe that's still in. eventually you can't offer somebody $20 million because it registers as like, oh, you're actually offering me less than the max. Like, it'll always read it as like, oh, you're offering me $0. It's brutal. Brutal. I was in a 14-man league. Ah, fair enough. All right, there we go. Denny signs. So for the coaching staff this year, then, I'd like Connolly or Krause to be the guy. We got to drop Landeskog, so I have room to move people around. Well, let's take a look at what the roster's going to be. So goalie-wise, it's Kolesnik and Ackerstrom. Flaherty is also now backup caliber, which is great. So we have 3 options in goal. Technically 4 with Salcido. Defensively, Monador, Domingue, Foss, Stafford, Hagman, Darling, and Peros. It's a tough call. It could be Peros, it could be Darling. Peros has been pretty disappointing in terms of developing. Send all these dudes down for the moment. Call up Johnson as well. So let's see, that is 10, 11, 12. I mean, 74 overall is like the hard cutoff right now for these ratings. Okay. So if we go best lines, the forwards are set, the defense is set, and they'll still be okay. It does go with Darling over Peros. Who fits this team the best then for this coaching staff? So Dandino right now has them at a 62 with best lines. Connolly I'm just going to check it this way to see if there's any difference. Connolly has them at a 59. And again, doesn't really fit defensively as well. Bartlett doesn't really have that defensive fit. Can he do better than a 62? Problem is, he's good for the forwards, but kind of rough for the defense. That defense boost, no doubt, has helped us out a lot. He is up to a 65. So we'd lose that defense boost, but in theory, it could help quite a bit. And then Krause, a defensive first coach that we found. Again, the pain there is just, you know, how well can you make that defense work? 61. So the argument is with Bartlett, do you want that 65, or does it just make more sense to have somebody who fits the defensive scheme of having every defenseman pinch, because that's what we keep ending up with? And I think it makes more sense to have them set up in that way. Unless someone like Tucker can also get us kind of a better spot here, but I don't think so. Still not as good. I think we insulate an A-grade coach with a couple of A-pluses around him. Yeah. Alright, so Dandino is still the guy. He is still our head coach. He's a forward specialist. I want to get that defensive specialist into the mix, and then you can argue between the generalist and the veteran. Honestly, I'm going to drop Bartlett. We're going to go with Krause. Yes, the temptation is there to have 3 A-plus level coaches and an A-minus goalie coach. I want to see if I can make that work, because, I mean, my God. Is that one of the best coaching staffs you can essentially put together? Can I make it work with this dude as our head coach? It's mainly the defense that would lose the boosts. And lose them in a pretty big way. Stafford's got that great shot. Hagman's solid defensively. Foss is well-rounded. Darling's pretty well-rounded too. Peros. Peros really doesn't have that much going for him. We can at least get decent ratings, but they're not the +5 and the +3 that we've been used to. So clearly, the only way it makes sense to have this dude as our head coach is if we can get some good pluses for the forward lines. That is the only way that this little experiment makes sense. And unfortunately, we can't really get better than a +1 for that first line, nor the second line. I don't think it's worth it. I think the trade-off, yeah, we have an A+ coach instead of an A, but the trade-off of that is that we lose a lot of chemistry on the blue line. A lot. And we really don't gain that much for the forwards. So I think it'll be Dandino, Connolly, Krause will drop Bartlett down to the AHL. I mean, he is best for veterans. You could argue that instead of the generalist... Actually, yeah, maybe we drop Connolly. We have Bartlett because we do have veterans on the team. And we'll have a generalist as our head coach, because he's a frickin' A+. Monador does get shafted as well, you're not wrong. I think that's our coaching staff this year. It's still top-notch, in every sense of the word. It was at least worth double-checking to see what the effect would be on the team in terms of the line chemistry. We'll get Lamoureux in there. Lamoureux for the AHL goaltending. So then looking at the lines. Defensively, I mean, yeah, this is much better. We're going to go with Stafford and Monador. And at least we get 2 +1s here. Let's go with Domingue, Darling, Fost, and Hagman. Better shot goes to Fost, so we'll get him on that side. So again, the defense isn't bad. We actually did lose a +3 because of the change that we made on defense, getting Jay Darling in here. But I think it's worth it because he is a low 4, which is pretty sweet. He still has a chance to develop. I think veterans applies to 33, not 27+. I mean, he's still an A+ rated coach. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not too concerned. How does Peros fit this team? God, Peros fits the team really well. Like, Darling is the more well-rounded player. The guy just can't skate. But if we get Peros in there instead, yeah, that instantly goes to a +3. I think we gotta have Peros in there instead. Yeah. So he's the worst player between the two in terms of the natural stats, but what he can boost Danny Domingue to, it's worth it. So then for the forwards, again, we'll try to base it as much off of overall as we can, but the problem is, I mean, goddamn, there's a lot of dudes who don't necessarily look that bad. If I drop Jeffrey down instead, I mean, I think that's the team right there. I mean, again, in terms of the forwards, it's not a perfect fit, but what it does defensively, we have to do it. God, Denny going down to the 4th line helps that 3rd line a ton. Really quickly. Scoring bangers, what's going on? So many of these dudes, though, are versatile enough to play on different lines. There's no denying these guys are in the bottom 6. Not too much, bangers. Not too much. Hanging in there, doing well. Still having fun on the old franchise. That dude's better for the 4th. That dude's better for the 3rd. That dude's better for the 3rd. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, it sucks to have Walter Denny on the 4th line, but the chemistry that it brings, he's a very well-rounded grinder. And he would still have power play time. It's tough to turn down that good of a setup. Second line, first line, second line, first line, first line. It was Reza who was better on that first line, but it's tough to turn down a setup like this. We'll just go with that. Reza over there. Githopoulos at center. Johnson on this side. Get Armstrong at center. Nothing but righties here. Some good centerman too. Try moving Reza down on the second line. I mean, the chemistry is not going to match. Like, he sucks on the second line, but he does still get us that +1. Like I said, that's the problem with this coach. He doesn't fit our forwards to give him a boost, but it at least doesn't, you know, it at least doesn't kill it. Like, we still have the forwards look okay, and the defense gets a huge boost. So in theory, it sucks to have Denny on that fourth line, but he still has power play time. Because we drop him down, it makes that third line better. That second line's not that bad. I mean, I still really like the way this team looks. Again, we have to drop Jay Darling down to the AHL. I want to see what that team looks like here, too. And we do have to make some less than ideal choices in some regards, but it's just the way it goes. Still got Flaherty and Salcido in the AHL. Defensively, we're basing it off of potential. I mean, it just comes down to who the lowest overall is. So again, Loxonen is in trouble. Is there somebody better in terms of potential? We know there is. There's Wisniewski. Yeah, so I hate to say it, but again, Loxonen, he's an interesting player, but I have to get the other low elite and Wisniewski in here. And then for the low fours, the lowest overalls are 66 options. So we actually have a lot of defensemen. How I wish I could utilize the ECHL to make sure these guys get proper playing time. But that's what it is. We got a lot of guys who we just have to hope can develop without the playing time. Is there anyone who's a good fit for the third pairing? The answer is no. Kavash is the best fit. He's a DFD. He's got to be with Persson. Could go with the two low elites and Pushkarev and Wisniewski together on that top pair. Darling, Tukio, Persson, and Kavasha. Loxonen forward. I mean, we have other options. I mean, it's not a bad option, right? I mean, it might be worth a shot just to try and get him playing time, but we also have some forwards where it's tough to say. Yeah, no one else has that stat line like him, though. How are the Red Wings better than the Sabres? Because the Sabres are mismanaged that badly. Let's see what we at least have for the forwards here. We really don't have like any veteran presence aside from Olczyk, the enforcer. So if we were to put Loxonen in there, he could be in for the enforcer. And then from there, it comes down to potential. So I hate to have to point out the low nines like this, but they are the dudes on the chopping block first. The lowest overall of the bunch is Zach Hewson, that new Grinder edition. Is there somebody better? Salmalainen. Yeah, Mika's got to make it in as a low top 6. And then we're looking at Sawyer Card or Mikanov. Card's older, so he's the next one on the outs. And Hewson was a low 9. Low 9. Low 6, Gordy Callahan. That enforcer makes it in. So the Mikanov is a 65 overall, low 6. It would be between him and Card, and again, Mikanov is younger. So we'll go with Mikanov. Alright, so we at least have our group here. Now it's the question of what do we want to base it off of. Overall can be probably the key factor, I would say, deciding who goes on what line. These guys are better on the third line. Samalainen's better. Fletcher's better. Holy shit. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but we have a rare sniper, playmaker, power forward option. And somehow, someway, the defensive defenseman doesn't mix well with an enforcer and a grinder. Topi doesn't fit this coach very well at all. If Krug was a free agent, would I take him back? Or would I take him on this? No. No, we're avoiding real-life players who were drafted. So, swapping him with Duclair is our only real option. Yeah. Alright, so I hate to say it, but 70 overall Duclair kind of gets screwed here. To make things work with Laaksonen, we'll definitely be on that second line. Better on the second, better on the second, better on the first, better on the first, better on the first. Alright, cool. So we at least have our lines for the AHL as well. This team's good to go. He wasn't drafted. I'm aware he wasn't drafted. But, again, we're not going for players who are already in the league. Like, I'm not going for Panarin, I'm not going for Krug. It's not as fun. Alright. That's not too shabby then. Both of our teams are set. Both have some positives to look at, as expected. Both are probably as good as they've ever been as well. The coaching staff sorts itself out. Really quickly, I guess, in terms of captaincy for this year, Kolsnik is the leader in goals. Interesting. It's still Domingue and Peros who get shoutouts as leaders on this team. So I hate to say it to Bykov. I'm going to take that letter off of you and give it to Peros. Some dumbass in another stream I was watching said masks don't work. I'm not gonna grief them, but I'm gonna politely ask for that in a DM so I can look at their success on this platform and then judge them tremendously. Laaksonen. Hey, Topi's the leader in terms of chemistry for the Tuskers. Well, congrats to Topi. You will be getting a, yeah, you're the captain. What do you do with the draft picks? We immediately trade them. And in terms of long-term options on this team, I mean, Olczyk doesn't even play. Who's in the comments, not the streamer. Oh, well, thank God it wasn't the streamer. Alright then, fair enough. Again, Olczyk's not even playing. Doesn't really matter who else gets captaincy. Let's give it to Darling because he's been around for a little bit. For the hell of it, we'll give it to Olczyk too. So with that, let us sim. We have 79% locker room chemistry. Lamoureux rejected. Are you fucking joking me? Okay. A toxic environment, he says. When have I ever been toxic? Harold Love. Harold Love. Love thy Harold. Sign thy Harold. And have him be our new AHL goalie coach, please. Harold, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, sir. I accept with no reservations. Thank you, Harold. You're a much better man than that other person who rejected questions of character. So heading into this season, 77% locker room chem. Our ratings as we get ready to take on Florida. Let's take a look at the Tulsa Tuskers first and foremost, as their ratings this season are 51, 44, and a 78. So I feel like the offense got better. 51, 44, and a 78. Not bad. Not too shabby. When you wouldn't sing some rooms, but fair enough. At the NHL level, this team that nearly made the playoffs last year, 77, 67, and an 82. We're getting better. I mean, 92, 87, 81 for Florida. We're getting better. We are getting so much better. God, these jerseys are just gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm excited for what this team can do. I really am. We've been saying that for a few years, but we keep getting better and better. I don't know if we have any new additions to the team this year, because Jamie Peros was here last year. And Monador's up to a 78. Denny's in the 80 overall club. He's got a couple other people right there. And I don't think we have anybody who's new this year. So it's the same group that's back. The same group that we know can do damage. And we'll see how they do very, very soon.